Ohio minasan. Hello, everyone, and let's do this. Today's script is woodworking, the vision, the idea is exploring the world through you and gives you the chance to express yourself, your true self fully. So let me read it again in a way that it makes sense. So there's woodworking slash the vision slash the idea, and is exploring the world through you and gives you, so the idea is exploring the world through you and gives you the chance to express your true self fully. 6th June, 10 months ago. Let's dive into it. Why woodworking? I think I'm looking at woodworking as just one of those I have no idea what I'm doing process, but you actually take random elements and you're able to work with random elements and combine them for an end result. See, the value of the chair slash table slash desk drawer, whatever it is that you do, is not really in the wood itself as much as it's the combination of the wood. So it starts with wood, and the translation of value is basically happening the more time, effort, mental processes, emotions, maybe even you spend on it. And I think that's what I'm highlighting. Because the idea is exploring the world through you. No, sorry, my bad. The idea, so woodworking, the vision slash the idea of whatever it is you're doing is exploring the world through you. So here, let me show it to you. So you got basically see woodworking, the vision slash the idea is exploring the world through you. So I'm saying the idea itself is exploring the world, its existence through you, and gives you the chance to express your true self fully. So uh, it's funny. A week ago, uh, I basically was discussing love, and a guy does a beautiful comment that kind of like resets me. So one of the things I want us to understand is I believe there's a whole lot of conditioning that happens as we progress through our life. And I discuss, well, I openly exchange basically different approaches with myself in order for me to create a logical slash reasonable, understandable way for me to look at things differently. And these are normally happening from like a focal point where I kind of like I'm exploring something and I'm finding out how it relates to me personally, and I subjectively start basically understanding its relevance in the world. And on other sides, I get like an inspiration. And one of the inspirations for me, for example, is the fact that you don't flow through time, time flows through you. Another one I picked up from a friend of mine who made me watch True Detective, and the concept of time being a flat circle. And it's funny because it was basically like an incest-ridden hillbilly who says it. You don't expect depth to come from like I don't know people that we don't really like. It was a horrible part in the actual series because those people were like doing evil, but it's their concept of the world that makes evil just for them, I guess. So what happens is basically one of the concepts that were inspiration to me is just like the past and the future kind of like are the same. One has both of them are experienced, but uh, one existed within your scope, while the other one still is like it's just like it is experienced, but you right now are not really in that experience. You're either moving towards it or you're experiencing something else. But it is experienced. The future has already happened. It's just basically you kind of like have to. At first, it was draw the line to it, but then basically do the things necessary for it to basically exist. So you're no longer going somewhere, you're standing where you are and you're building yourself so that future exists around you. And it's been a philosophy of mine. But so I was discussing about love and how basically like you can only experience love when you give it, because that's you're subjectively looking at your how you're actually like loving, which gives you an understanding of other people when they try to show love. Because most of the time, everyone has a different love language, or at the very least, everyone like sees the world in their own basically subjective form. Their reality is imprinted on the world. And so if I want a hug and somebody gives me a high five, maybe a high five for them is like, I fucking love you, man. But for me, I wanted a hug or other forms. Like I have a friend of mine who once discussed it with me, and he was like, my his wife's basically love language are small presents consistently instead of one big dramatic effort. So she doesn't care if he tells her I love you, but if he gets her a small thing, he's like, this made me think of you. She kind of like clicks and oh my God, man, like she feels some kind of way. That's basically the beauty of things. And then he goes and he basically writes down, and this is a shout out to you, man. I think his name was Bubble 71. And ultimately, what he said was, let me read it for you. Not sure love is something we give uh, or receive. Love flows through the heart of all living, and I suspect even things we just need to allow it. We don't own love, we don't create love, we just have the will to block its flow or egotistically assume credit for it. Love is not part of the man-made fictional economic system. Love is life, and we can't accept or reject. If that is love that flows in or love that flows out. And naturally, when he said that, man, it clicked with me because, again, most of the time we kind of revert to our conditioning. And what happens is I am actually reflecting on me when I'm trying to understand something bigger than me. And it's it's kind of one of those like, slap in the face, wake up, or notice, notice. Because ultimately, I feel like these scripts are kind of like written, or our thoughts come out when we kind of find ourselves in a pattern. And but the logical thing is to dissect the thoughts because then you will understand why they're coming out, and then you kind of understand the pattern. But I have on more than one occasion kind of like reset to point zero where I come to the realization that basically I am not really like I and me are different, but like when I reflect on me, what effectively I'm doing is I'm personalizing something that's not really mine to personalize. It's the ego speaking. And every once in a while, I kind of get that realization. But it's funny because, like, really, the environment around us, we're so small still. And maybe that's where it kind of like Buddha and Jesus Christ and the prophets kind of like surpassed uh, human forms, I guess, or human structures, because them unplugging, as I would say it, or as we could elaborate on it, made them bigger than whatever's happening around them. And if anything, that's that's kind of what we all want, right? But our pursuit of it is always that uh, tangible thing that we kind of like can show everyone, instead of like the thing that we can experience ourselves that truly expresses that freedom. Maybe I don't know if it's freedom because a lot of responsibility comes with kind of like being free, a lot more than just following suit. And the idea itself is trying to is exploring the world through you and your work, and it gives you the chance to express your true self fully. So our thoughts are not really our own; they're kind of choosing us in order to explore this world and translate our reality to this world and see how they look like. Because when I say a chair, everyone would think of a different shape of a chair. And then when you're creative enough, then a chair means something to you completely different than other people. Fuck, on the other day on YouTube, I saw like a chair that's called gorilla chair or monkey chair or something like this. It's like a big sofa with like a head of a gorilla on top. What the fuck? Somebody created it, somebody thought about it, somebody was like, huh, I'm gonna make this. And so they got an idea, and that idea basically pestered them for it to kind of like come to existence. But it's funny that this video kind of relates in a way for the fact that I'm not the one who thinks. I just observe my thoughts, and they are generated from the environment, maybe, or I think the environment kind of creates a specific space for them to kind of like pop up or be able to connect to me. And ultimately, anytime you're doing something, you have something is motivating you to move forward, and something's kind of like trying to show, to try to be the output of what you're trying to do. And as Bubble 701 said, like, we either egotistically claim it to be ours, or kind of make a decision towards it, or just guide it, or whatever. Or we just kind of are the versions of ourselves that allows it to completely just translate itself and express itself through us. So good video, I guess. What do you guys think of the lighting? Peace. It's a video.